Hi! Today we're going to draw this guy with alcohol markers. So if you're new to marker art or maybe coming from the coloring background, today you can create your very own adorable character from zero. I'm going to be using Ohuhu 48 colors. We will just need a few shades of green, so you can match my color scheme with any other brand of alcohol markers. The only thing is we will need to have a brush tip. Also, I'm going to use white Posca Pen, jelly rolls, and black Fineliner. Any brand will work, we just need to do some details. Let's get to it. We will start drawing a shape that looks like the number 8. I'll link the line art in the description so you can start coloring right away, but I want to draw it so you can see that there is no perfect lines, and perfection is not our goal today because we are having fun. So it's just a chubby number 8. And then following the right side of the number 8, I'm drawing its back. So here we have our main avocado shape. Then in the middle, we need to draw a circle. Again, it doesn't have to be a perfect circle, just anything round and hairy will do the trick. I'm marking the shadow, so it indicates where the darkest part of the seed will be. Now I'm going to go over the sketch with an eraser and turn it into very light sketch with very faint outline. We just need to understand where our shapes begin and end, but we don't want to be distracted, or we don't want to smudge and make dirt with the heavy pencil lines. So it's basically not visible on camera, but you know it's there. I skipped the swatching part to save us some time, but you can copy my color scheme or you can match it with your own markers if you're using different brand. Now we will need to fill our main shape with the lightest green we have. And to do this, I'm going to try to achieve the strictest fill. For this, you have to go very slowly and without lifting your marker from the paper. Like I'm showing it twice, so you can get the idea of the very light pressure and the speed. Another way to do it is like to do overlapping strokes. And as you can see on this paper, the overlapping strokes leave streaks. So I'm trying to go with the first technique. Like as you see, I'm going very slowly, not putting a lot of pressure, and still we're seeing some streaks. And that's totally fine, it can happen, especially if your paper is like mine, which is fine, but it's not ideal. And we can just slowly try to fill the shape as even as we can, and then we can always fix it. Some colors actually work better for this and some worse, but it doesn't matter, we can save almost any situation. Like, as you see, my initial fill is far from perfect, and honestly, looking at this now, it just looks horrible. So don't worry, it will all be fine. Like, we just need to get the base color down and then we can work from there. For example, now I'm thinking that I will just go over it with one more layer and try to get the even texture. On the lower part, it's actually not so necessary because we will place the shadow and some blobs there to imitate the natural avocado texture. But on the upper part, I think it's working nice, like we are hiding all the streaks and the texture becomes more even. Now I'm just doing circular movements to basically achieve the same uneven fill. It gives a little bit of texture, which is fine because this is what we want on this part. So you can see now I want to define the seed, and the seed is getting smaller and smaller, which is again totally fine. Like, just have fun with it. Don't try to be perfect, don't try to achieve perfect shapes. We're drawing here, not doing some rocket science. Let's take the darkest green and draw it back. We are going to use the same technique that we used just now, basically just drawing small tiny circles, and it will give us the nice texture for the back because you know it has all those bumps, so it will work perfectly. Let's try. And actually they don't have to be just circles, they can be any small movements that you kind of layer together. For example, I'm doing curvy lines, some blobs, some small fills, some longer lines, and all of this together gives us a nice texture for the back. This technique is great for any nature scene you want to draw or color, especially grass, trees, and bushes. None of those things are actually flat and even. They all have a range of values and different shades. As you can see, it's not a very fast process, but we're not in a hurry here. I'm going to speed up the video a little bit, but you can finish it on your own pace and we will move on. Let's work on the seed. Take the lightest brown you have and draw a small circle. This will be our highlight, and it's better to leave it white. And then we just fill the shape with the lightest brown we have. And in this case, it's not even important if it's going to be even or not, if it has streaks or no, because the seed has a lot of strokes inside of it. So we can imitate it by doing this curvy strokes all over the same layer with the same marker, and it will give us this feeling of, the texture. I'm always saying texture, but this is what we are doing here, like creating different textures. This is what makes our drawing look interesting and unique. Now with the second shade of brown, we repeat the same curvy movements all over the seed. And you can see how it looks a little bit too dark. It's because the first layer is already dried, so the markers don't blend naturally by themselves. We need to help them a little bit. And I'm going to take the lightest marker and just go all over it again. It will wet the paper and the colors will blend more naturally and edges will be softer. Next, we are going to repeat the same process with the darkest brown, just curvy strokes around the seed, and then blending it with the lighter shade. It might seem complicated, but we're not going for a very realistic look. We just want to give some volume to our seed, and blending a few shades of brown makes it almost automatic. Looks very cool and really easy to achieve. I think I'm happy with my seed for now, so we can take the second shade of green and draw a drop shadow that the seed leaves on the avocado body. Just the strokes following the seed shape, nothing special. We will blend it later, and for now let's go over the edges to leave a little drop shadow as well. As I said before, I'm all about texture, so let's make one. We will be drawing dots, just dots of different sizes. I always like to test it before applying to the artwork to make sure the colors work well and the texture we are creating looks nice. There is no right or wrong way to do it, just place them randomly over the avocado, leaving the space for his future face that we will draw it just in a few minutes. Now I want to go over it with the lightest green, just the same way we did with the seed. You make the texture and then you go over with the lightest color to blend it and make it less saturated. It's time to give him some volume, so we are going to take the same darkest green we used before and go over the areas that need to be in the shadow. I know it can be intimidating for beginners to think about where the shadows go. Let's simplify that and just think of the light source that is in the left upper corner. So all of the right lower side is in the shadow. I really like how with just one marker you can achieve different shades. For example, for the back we just used the same green marker and look how different it looks in texture. Now I'm going to take the gray marker and go over the shadows. This technique reminds me of the digital painting, where you can use multiply mode for your layers. Basically, it's kinda the same. It slightly kills color saturation and makes shadows deeper. Just look how it makes everything pop up. This might look a little bit advanced, especially if you speed up the video, but in reality, these are the same curvy strokes that we did before. I want to soften the shadow from the seat a little more. We can take the light green and go over the edges. At this stage, the hardest thing is to decide it's finished and stop. I could go for another half an hour just layering, softening, blending, adding more details and small dots, but let's move on. And now is the cutest part of this tutorial, where we will give him his adorable face. There are a few simple options that you can choose from. You can just draw a couple of dots and a curvy line for his smile. Or you can go for eyes closed and just draw 3 curvy lines. Or you can try to draw his mouth open from the excitement, and I think I will do just that. Now, I've ruined countless amount of doodles, drawings and illustrations by directly picking up my Fineliner and trying to draw a face. And it's almost impossible to fix, because the white Posca Pen can hide our inaccurate black lines, but will leave a visible layer of a white acrylic paint. So please, start with a pencil, trust me. Let's give him a nice little stem and open arms, like he's waiting to give us a hug. When you're happy with his face expression and the position of his arms, we can take a Fineliner or a black pen. As you see, I'm going very slowly, even over a pencil sketch. It's because I've learned from my mistakes. I think the black outline and black feel of his hands and stem will give us a nice contrast to his semi-realistic, detailed and textured body. For some inexplicable reason, even following the pencil sketch, I screwed up his hands. I wasn't happy with their shape and size, so after a few unsuccessful attempts to make them equal, I suddenly decided to give him thumbs. I want to highlight this moment because even when you have a lot of practice, even when you carefully think your design through, moments like this can happen, and it's a part of our artistic journey. Embrace your mistakes. Speaking of mistakes, we are moving into highlights with acrylic Posca marker. And let me tell you, I'm guilty of regularly overuse it and give too much unnecessary white paint to the drawing. Because when you have this marker in your hand, it feels like a magic wand. It truly brings a drawing to life. It makes everything pop, so you can't just stop. A couple things about working with Posca marker. First, it's absolutely okay to smudge your highlights with your fingers. It's a legit technique and many people do it all the time. Have fun with it. And second, I haven't seen anyone talking about it, But after you smudged it and it dries, you can actually go over it with some color, and it will let you lighter your colors, add a reflection, or save you in a situation where you just went too dark too soon. I use it a lot in more realistic drawings. Adding white to his eyes helps to make his expression even more cute. Pick some dark pink or red for his mouth and cheeks. And now, when my white is dry, I can go over the seed one last time. And this is it. I hope you enjoyed and see you the next time. Bye!